What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to be going over what's going on in cryptocurrency, what happened with it reaching new all-time highs, what happened right after it ended up correcting, and more. So be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and let me know what you guys want to see next. So as you guys will notice in these two videos right here, one was about 2 weeks ago. The other one was about a week ago. 2 weeks ago, I talked about there being some sort of crash this month. And also, I talked about crypto getting ready to explode. I've been telling everybody, if you go back and watch my other videos, I even went back and showed some proof that I've been telling everybody for a while. October was going to be the month that crypto starts the bull market again. And sure enough, Bitcoin ended up hitting new highs. So let's just take a look at where we're at. Bitcoin hit almost $67,000, as you see, almost 67,000 roughly, and that's a new all-time high for it, which is a really big deal. But as you see, it corrected very hard. I don't call it really a crash, primarily because the rest of the market didn't really follow, but it was a big correction. As you guys will see here, it went from almost 67,000 to 59,000, as you guys could see right there, $59,000. Isn't that crazy, guys? So realistically, both of these were kind of right. So this one's talking about a crash, which obviously you guys could see it did ended up basically crashing, not the whole market, but Bitcoin did. And also, I was talking about how this week specifically, I said this right here. I said this week because realistically, there were several reasons that it could be going up, but the rest of the market, I think, is going to be following, likely by the beginning of November, if not late October, but likely by the beginning of November. And then I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a dip or a major crash at December, which is what we might have been supposed to have this month in October. But realistically, I think that what happens in December is only going to be temporary. I think it's going to shake out a lot of people because this next, let's say, month and a half is about to be really big. And then I think it's going to shake out a lot of people, but then we're going to continue the bull run into January and possibly a couple months after that. But realistically, they have moved several ETF dates to late November and in December. One just got approved, as I was talking about in my last video, but the ones that are happening in November and December, I think will be big if they do get approved, because there's going to be billions of dollars in trading that's coming to it. So I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a big crash. Due to several factors, but what I think is going to happen, I'll name some of those factors in a second. But what I think is going to happen is when that crash happens, that's when all those new investors are going to get in. A lot of those billionaires and big time millionaires are going to be getting in on that crash and then moving the market into the new year realistically with those ETFs. Just so everybody knows, ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. It's similar to a stock, but with cryptocurrency. I actually can make a video going more into ETFs if anybody is interested. But the reason that ETFs are actually important is because it's kind of like the government stamp of approval in the United States. People have been trying to get them for years in the United States, but they haven't had one yet. But the best part is this isn't even the better one. There are two ETFs, and this one's kind of just like the soft opening. I'll explain about that more in a new video where I talk about ETFs. But basically, when the other ETF, the real one, ends up happening, it's going to be even crazier. So be sure to look for that. But what should be happening in December is, if you notice, we have a lot of issues right now. Gas is going crazy with pricing. There's shortages everywhere, not just with workers, but with goods at stores and stuff. They got over 100 boats in California, or ships in California, that are trying to dock and give us goods, which is really going to mess us up for Christmas. And on top of that, we also have inflation rising higher than the Feds actually expected. It's rising a lot higher. So they were expecting around 1.8. As of now, it's over 4%, which is massive. It's more than most people think. And we're on the verge of our dollar collapsing realistically. So we need to really do something. They were talking about creating $1 trillion coin, which is just absolute nonsense. And it's going to remove faith in the US dollar. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, whether, it's going to be the housing market, whether it's going to be the dollar, whether it's going to be a supply shock, a recession hits for whatever reason. But there's a lot of things that are looming in the air. And they're talking about not just regulations, but they're also talking about um, what it is to basically like mine Bitcoin for the environment as far as environmental effects. So they're going to be possibly cracking down on that. And if that happens, that could be something that really affects the market. But luckily, there are some coins that are environmentally friendly when mined. So realistically, I think those will do well. But there's a lot that's happening, and these are just some of the things that you want to look at, like the psychology of the ETFs and people wanting to get in, plus all this stuff happening in December, and then what's going to happen with them moving forward into the new year. And it's not just speculation. I do have some insider advice, but they're not necessarily telling us in this format. I'm actually doing the research and trying to understand why these things are happening. But luckily, I have some really good friends who I myself have bought into a couple crypto programs where I get some good information. And I have a couple of friends who bought into these programs for thousands of dollars, and maybe even a few hundred or whatever the case was. And they send me stuff all the time. Plus, I do my own research, read articles, and obviously watch YouTube and a bunch of stuff like that. But I'm not just watching some guy on YouTube and that's telling me all this stuff. I'm getting this information from a lot of different places, and then I'm putting it all together for you guys in these videos. So just know this isn't just from, one guy on YouTube or three guys. This is from data that I'm getting that I have people paying for, that I've paid for, information on articles, looking at past charts. So there's so much that I'm actually looking at before I end up telling you guys these predictions. So just know it's not just from one or two sources. This is from a lot of different places, from inside info to me looking at charts and then analyzing events and how they could affect the markets. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As you guys see, if you were one of the people that I've been telling for months that October is going to be the month this all gets started, how crazy is that, guys, that Bitcoin hit a new all-time high? It didn't just hit its highest point since April this October. It hit a new all-time high, which is huge, okay? And there's other coins doing the same thing, but it hasn't even barely begun. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's about to be so big, guys. So I hope you guys are ready. Brace yourselves. I'm super excited, and I hope that you guys are getting yourselves ready for this bull run. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment, let me know what you guys want to see next, and please subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.